Alrighty, we are now live. Y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Welcome to another episode of Miracle Mindset for Men. I am your host, Heru Dre, aka Dre, aka Handsome Heru. Tonight's episode and topic we're going to be talking about is gratitude, being grateful in advance. A lot of times we take for granted the things that we have, and we always focus on the things that we don't have. And I think I want to explore and dive in a little bit of being grateful and having gratitude for the things that you don't have, and being grateful for the things that you desire to have in the future. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I want to bring up the definition of gratitude so y'all can have a clear dictionary exactly what the word means. I don't know why my computer just did that dumb shit. I don't know, shit just like shut down on me. That's crazy. My bad, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. It gave me a song. Okay, here we go. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Like appreciation, recognition, thankfulness, gratefulness, things of that nature. So, a lot of times we are not, what's the word I'm looking for? We spend a lot of our times focus on what the problems are in our life. We focus on a lot of things that we don't have and wish that we did have, and we never just like take the time to focus on what we already have. So it can cause a lot of stress, anxiety, sadness, depression. But just take the time to just like sit back and actually look around of everything that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, be grateful for a roof over your head. Be grateful for the clothes over your back, the food that you're able to receive. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for being wealthy. Be grateful for having an able body. Limbs, arms, legs, fingers, toes, everything. I think we take a lot of things for granted because we in like automatic mode, and everything is just like we feel like we deserve to have all of this stuff, and it's okay to feel like you deserve to have things. I ain't saying nothing's wrong with that. However, if you really want to be truly blessed or make better choices and let them choices manifest in your life, just be grateful for the things that you already have. And I think well, I'm not gonna say we as a people, because I'm always grateful. I'm grateful for every situation in my life, good or bad, because it develops me as a man. It develops my character. It creates a stronger moral compass within me. It develops my integrity and what I stand on and what I stand by and what I stand for. And I think that being grateful and thankful for the things will allow you to keep it and will allow you to get more. But being grateful in advance. So, give you a prime example. You ever wanted a new car, or you ever wanted a new job, or you wanted more money? A lot of times, I have a theory. Well, somebody probably got this theory, but I have this theory. When you meditate, that's when God is talking to you. But when you pray, that's when you talk to God. So instead of praying about the things that you don't have, pray about the things that you already have, and pray about the things that you're going to have. So that way you're putting that out there in the universe, and the universe hears, and the universe always answers. It doesn't answer when you want it to, but it always answers. And I think it's very important and it's imperative that you want to be specific about the things that you want in advance, or you desire, not want, but what you desire in advance. And with that being said, when you're praying, just show gratitude. Just be thankful for the things that you already have first. Okay. I'm gonna start off with that. Then after you're grateful for the things that you already have, then start saying the things that you desire in the future, but you have to claim it as if you already have it. Like, say you want to go on a trip and you don't know how you're gonna get on the trip, but you want to go on the trip, right? So just say, I'm grateful that I'm able to get on this plane. I'm grateful that I have the money to pay for this trip. I'm grateful that I'm able to take the time off work. I'm grateful that I can afford the trip. I'm grateful that everything is in alignment for me to go to these places. So I think it's very important that you show your gratitude to the universe, because the universe just wants to bless you no matter what. Or God wants to bless you. Some people, be like, that universe stuff, whatever. God wants to bless you, but he's only going to bless you if you ask for it. And not necessarily giving you the blessing, like in your hand, like you give somebody remote control. No, he's going to give you the opportunity. And the opportunities may come in a way that it's going to show you in plain sight, right? So my message out there to the fellas out there, especially the black men in America, I know y'all feel like y'all not being appreciated in a lot of areas. I understand that we sometimes don't take the time to just be grateful for our lives, despite everything that's going on in the world. And I know it can be tough, but just still be grateful. Be grateful for the good and the bad, because things could be a lot worse and things can definitely be a lot better. But just gotta shift your focus. Shift your focus into the man that you desire to be. Shift your focus on the thing that you desire to have. Shift your focus to be the energy that you want to attract, right? And I know it could be a challenge because we're not really given a space to actually take the time to take in everything that's around us. And I really believe that showing gratitude and being grateful in advance can change that mentality. But everything starts within, right? And I also encourage y'all to study the universal laws that can't be changed. There's 7 universal laws, and the first one is the law of mentalism. And mentalism can start with the way you think, but how the way you speak to yourself, how the way you think of yourself. And I think that's very important. So when you're showing gratitude, those words cause vibrations, right? Depending on what frequency of the vibration you speaking in, let that be a positive manner or an agreeable manner for you, to where you'll be able to be more appreciated by your peers, your family, your friends, the women, your job, or whatever the case may be, your clients, your employers, your employees. And I know it can be a challenge sometimes because we don't feel like we're being seen. And when we feel like we're being seen, we're only being seen for monetary purposes. And we kind of got to look past that. We got to focus on what's more important, and that is the solitude of our mental health, the solitude of our mental state, the solitude of our physical aesthetics, looking up the part, feeling up the part, being up the part. And even if you feel like you're down and out, just be grateful in your situation. It might not be the best situation, but it could be a lot worse. But don't ever focus on the worst part. Focus on, how can I make my situation better? How can I make the best of a bad situation? Okay, the world don't love you. Okay, we've been there before. We have suicidal thoughts. Yeah, we've been there before. People only want to use us for what we can do, but not want to be around us because of who we are. Okay, we all been there before. But just be grateful. Just show the gratitude to the universe, like, hey, I'm still here, I'm still strong. And, I'm just grateful that people will see my worth. People will appreciate me for who I am as a man. People will appreciate me who I am as a father. People will appreciate me who I am as a human being. People will appreciate me as a God. People will appreciate me as a worker. People will appreciate me as an entrepreneur. People will appreciate me as a historian, or people appreciate me as a son or a brother or whatever the case may be. And I think that we are lacking that type of self infliction as far as like trying to bring ourselves out of it because it can be tough. I've been there. And ever since I started showing gratitude about the things that I already had, I started getting more. It wasn't like right away. It was a gradual process. I can remember when I first moved into my house, I didn't have no furniture. All I had was a bed, a stove, a refrigerator, and a microwave, right? And my bed was an air mattress. But I was content because I said, eventually I'll have more. So I started getting more and more piece by piece because I just kept focusing on the things that I desired. So now I got a queen size bed in my room. I went and bought a dresser and stuff for my clothes instead of using boxes. And now and now fast forward, I have a whole living room set that was gifted to me, dining room, a whole kitchen, things like that. Have a whole basement that has been furnished because of some of the things that was given to me, but also the focus that I had, and I was always grateful for the little things that I had. I'm even grateful for this studio or this office, because I remember when I didn't even have this, I just had like one one screen, like one monitor, and like a small ass desk. But I was grateful because I was like, shit, I have something so I can still get on my computer. Remember, I didn't have Wi-Fi. It's just a lot of things I remember that I didn't have, but I always kept saying I was gonna get more. I didn't know how I was gonna get more, but when I discovered about being grateful in advance and having gratitude for the things that you already have, that's when everything started to fall into place. I've been living in this house for 8 years, and I want to say in the 6 years my house has been completed. So it took me 6 years to complete the house the way I wanted it to be. And some things can take time. It depends on you. Conscious thought times manifestation equals, or conscious thought times action equals manifestation. So I had the thought, I took the action, I manifested this. And the key thing to all of that is to be grateful in advance for the things that you desire to have. And you have to feel as if you already have it. And that's the most important thing. Neville Goddard talked about that. And also Minister Jew, if y'all saw my last episode, we talked about being thankful in advance and showing gratitude and feeling as if you already have it, right? And when you do that, the universe will appreciate how you are being grateful for the things that you already have, and you're being grateful for the things that you're going to have. So I'm like, you got to claim it, right? Like you got to demand from the universe, and then, like I said, the universe is going to give you whatever it is that you desire. So to all my fellas out there, especially the black men, if you always feel like nobody appreciates you, nobody's not showing any type of gratitude towards you, you feel like you're alone, you feel like you don't have enough or you're not enough, you are enough. And don't let nobody ever take that from you. Just always be grateful for the life that you have, because I've been traveled to different places and I've seen a lot of things. And it just makes me appreciate my life more because I remember when I had less than, but I still have more than others. And I desire to have more, but not in a way to where I cannot not have less, but because I know what it's like to not have anything and have to work your ass off to get the things that you really desire and do the things that you really desire you wanted to do. Like I give you a prime example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? So after I did my blueprint for God Power workshop back in 2023, and they were showing different techniques about how you can manifest this, about being in alignment and frequency, and they talk about having gratitude and changing your situation by changing your thoughts. I said that I just wanted to be a better person. Excuse me, I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be a better man. I wanted to be a blessing, not a burden to the people around me. So I just started focusing on that. I started using all of the techniques, and I just started focusing on being the desired person that I wanted to be. And also reading some of the books. Like one of the biggest life changing books for me personally was The Four Agreements, The Mastery of Love, and Breaking the Habit of Yourself by Joe Dispenza. And it talks about how you can recreate who you are by recreating your thought process and recreating your genes, what they call it, epigenetics, right? And then it was at that point to where I understood the power that I had, and I understood how I could use the power that I have to create a reality that was conducive to my spirit. So fast forward a year, I went on, like 2023 was probably like one of the best years of my life because of the dramatic change that I went through, not from my own eyes, but from everybody else's eyes who was all there that saw the shit that I was going through, and they saw the change and stuff like that. And I'm grateful for that. And that's the part where I say you just got to be grateful for the little things. You got to be grateful for the people that's in your life who really are cheering you on, and whether they show it or not, just know that there's somebody out there that's cheering you on. So don't ever feel like you alone. Even if you do feel like you alone, you're really not alone. And even when I feel like I'm alone sometimes, because I had a depression spell a couple of days ago. I was just sitting in the house, and I was just like, I really don't have no friends. And is it by choice? I think about it. I'm like, it's really not by choice, but it is by choice, right? And I was just thinking, like, damn, nobody checks on me like that. Maybe I need to start checking on people, or is it something about my energy that's not attracting these people to think about me? Like, it was just a bunch of things that was going in my mind. And it was almost to a point where I was about to start self-sabotaging, but I had to catch myself because you have to be aware of your thoughts, and you have to be aware of how you feeling, because you don't want that to really manifest into your reality, and then you really start feeling that way. And the most important thing is the self-awareness part. You have to be self-aware of these thoughts. Like, understand you are not your thoughts. Read these thoughts and be like, okay, you know what? No, I'm not gonna think like that. Let me shift my thoughts to something else, because if I start thinking this way, then it's gonna get deeper and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And I don't want it to get worse. I want it to get better. I want it to stay better. So, and I know it could be a challenge. I'm not gonna say every day is gonna be great. Everything is not gonna be the way you want it to be. But it's in those trying times that what develops your character and what makes you a man, or makes you the man that you need to be, or the man that you're supposed to be, or the man that you desire to be. And it's just being grateful, like, well, at least I have a phone so I can call people to make sure that they know that I'm still alive. I'm grateful that I can pick up a phone and call somebody and they'll answer and talk to me. And because I really don't have to feel alone, because all I gotta do is pick up my phone and use it, right? So I just think that just being grateful for the things that you don't have and being grateful for the things that you do have is very important. And I think once that happens, like, your life change. Because to attract better, you have to become better. You can't do the same thing and expect change, right? You got to transform your mindset. Got to upgrade your habits. So whatever bad habits you got, change them. Change habits that keeps you productive, keeps your mind going. Read a book, go exercise, go outside, jump rope, ride a bike, whatever it is that you normally don't do. Change that to something that you want to do, right? You got to think positive. Always think positive. Even in negative situations, still think positive. What is the most positive outcome that can come out of this negative situation? Think about that. Be hopeful and consistent with your evolution. Be hopeful and consistent with your evolution. Like, when you evolve, and the more you evolve, stay consistent in what it was that was making you evolve. I mean, we're supposed to evolve anyway, but sometimes people like to stay stagnant, and they like to stay where they at, and they find themselves in a place of complacency. And And that's okay for them. But if you feel like you want more, you want to be more, you have to be consistent in your evolution. And it all starts with how you think and feel about yourself. So I just think that that's important to know. But as far as like gratitude is concerned, just take a moment, like just sit somewhere and then just like sit in silence and then just look around wherever you are. Most likely either your car or your house. And just start saying what you're grateful for. Start itemizing everything. Like, I'm grateful for this phone, grateful for this microphone, I'm grateful for this podcast, I'm grateful for a YouTube channel, I'm grateful to be drinking this water, I'm grateful for my office, I'm grateful for this light that's shining so y'all can see me clearly, I'm grateful for this house, I'm grateful for the car outside, I'm grateful for that garage, I'm grateful for the food in the refrigerator, I'm grateful for my strength, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for money in my account. Just start naming little things. And when the universe hear you say that, it's like, I want to give this person more. He's grateful for what he has, so I think he's ready for more. And then that's the part where once you're grateful, you show gratitude for the things that you already have. Then you can turn it up a notch, take it to the next level. Then you can start talking about the things that you're grateful for in advance. Like, I'm grateful for getting on this plane and getting off this plane safe and sound with no harm, danger, seen or unseen towards me. I'm grateful that I'll be able to enjoy myself on these trips that I'm taking. That's just an example. Even though I am talking about stuff in real life, but it's an example. So it's very important to just stay in a place of humility, not humbleness, but humility. Be grateful, thankful, show gratitude to your friends, your family, your neighbors, your coworkers, whoever. Just tell them you appreciate them. Just appreciate them for being who they are. Appreciate them for just being there when you needed them. Might as well just call somebody and just, tell them that. So, with that being said, that concludes tonight's episode. This is the Miracle Mindset for Men. This is episode 19. Gratitude and being grateful in advance. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share this. And I will see y'all next time. Peace.